You have to hand it to Apple, they really know how to play the mind games. For years, we had the iPhone SE. And let's be honest, buying an SE felt a little bit like admitting you just didn't want to spend the money on the real iPhone. It felt like the budget bin option. But then, they did something brilliant. They simply changed a letter. Welcome to the iPhone 17e. By taking the number of the current flagship and just slapping a lowercase e on the end, Apple completely reinvented their budget lineup. It worked with the 16e, which grabbed a massive chunk of the market last year, and now they are doubling down. See, here in the US especially, nobody actually cares about the phone hardware itself. They care about iOS. They care that their friends are on iMessage. They care about their memories trapped in iCloud. It is the ecosystem trap, and we are all happily stuck inside of it. So if Apple can sell you a device that runs that software, looks vaguely like the expensive model, but costs way less, they win. And next week, it looks like the iPhone 17e is going to officially drop. So, what are we actually getting for $600? Well, the headline feature is something we have been waiting for on the budget tier for a long time. The dynamic island. Finally, the reign of terror of the notch might be over. If the leaks are true, Apple is adopting that modern, high-end look for their cheapest phone. This is huge for the general consumer. Think about the teenager getting their first new phone, or the casual buyer who just wants something that doesn't look 5 years old. It's like getting a hand-me-down from your rich big brother. Sure, it's not the Pro Max Ultra, but to you, it feels brand new because it has that little interactive pill at the top that your old iPhone 8 definitely didn't have. But, and this is a big but, I am still about 10% skeptical. This is the Tim Cook special we are talking about. Apple loves to reuse old tooling until the machinery literally falls apart. There is a small, terrifying chance that they could just reuse the iPhone 14 chassis, keep the notch, and call it a day. If they do that, if they launch a notched phone in 2025 for $600, they should be embarrassed. But let's hope for the dynamic island. Let's look at the screen itself. We're looking at a 6.1-inch display, which is honestly the Goldilocks size. Not too big, not too small. It fits in your pocket, it fits in your hand. It's perfect. However, brace yourselves, because this next part is going to hurt. It looks like we are getting stuck with 60 Hz again. In a world where budget Android phones have had high refresh rates for years, this is a tough pill to swallow. But Apple knows their audience for this phone. The people buying the 17e probably won't notice, or they just don't care enough to pay extra for the Pro model. Flip the phone over and you'll see another major design choice. The single camera lens. The Cyclops. Just like you on Valentine's Day. It is single, but it is strong. We are expecting a 48-megapixel sensor. Now, if you are keeping score, that is technically the same megapixel count as the previous model. But don't let the numbers fool you. The magic here isn't in the lens hardware alone. It is in the processing. Thanks to the new chip inside, which we will get to in a second, the low-light performance should be significantly better. So your dark, grainy photos might actually look usable. On the front, inside that dynamic island, we are leaning towards an 18-megapixel square sensor with center stage support. This is perfect because, let's be real, the two main demographics for this phone are teenagers addicted to Snapchat and grandparents who want to FaceTime the grandkids. There is no in-between. Visually, this thing is going to be a dopamine delivery system made of aluminum. We are expecting the classic black and white options, obviously. But rumors have been floating around about a hero color. Maybe a lavender? Though, to be fair, those rumors are months old, so don't hold your breath. But it's not just about looks. It's about utility. One massive upgrade over the previous 16e is the inclusion of MagSafe. Yes, finally. The 16e shipped without it, which was a crime, but the 17e brings back the magnets. Wireless charging, car mounts, wallet attachments. You are back in the club. Now, let's crack this thing open. What is powering the iPhone 17e? You're getting the A19 chip. Well, sort of. It is a slightly binned version of the A19. In plain English, it's the same powerful processor, just maybe slightly less perfect than the ones going into the Pro models. But trust me, you will never, ever notice the difference in daily use. More importantly, it is paired with 8 GB of RAM. This is the key spec. Why? Because of Apple Intelligence. You need that RAM to run all those fancy new AI features that Apple is pushing. So yes, your budget iPhone will be able to summarize your emails and generate weird emojis just as well as the expensive ones. Storage-wise, don't get your hopes up for a massive base model. Rumors of 256 gigabytes starting storage were floating around, but for $600? No way. Apple isn't that generous. Expect 128 gigabytes to be the standard. Powering all of this is a battery right around 4,000 milliamp hours. This is actually great news. When you combine a 4,000 milliamp battery with that efficient A19 chip and the fact that the screen is only 60 Hz, you are looking at solid battery life. Apple will call it all-day battery, which is marketing speak for anything between 2 hours and 24 hours. But in reality, for the average user, this phone will easily get you from morning coffee to bedtime scrolling without needing a charger. So, where does that leave us? The iPhone 17e is shaping up to be the ultimate good enough phone. It's not trying to be the best. It's trying to be the best value. If you can get past the 60 Hz screen, and this is a big if, it actually comes with the dynamic island, this is going to be a massive seller. It's the entry ticket to the blue bubbles. It's the phone for people who don't care about specs, but care about experience. It's not 2014 anymore. There are no bad phones. Just different price points. And at $599, the 17e might just be the smartest dumb purchase you can make this year. What do you think? Is the 60 Hz screen a deal breaker for you in 2026? Or is the price right? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our full review when this thing actually drops.